What's up, my people? I'm Lon Lenoir, and with this article, I wanted to hit the fact of trend. And when I say trend is a fact, because it's what it is, that is what it ain't, pretty much. This article, it goes back to 2020. Now, I went back this far, right? I went back a little bit just to see what was thought of to happen in 2020 compared to what already happened in 2020 since we're in 2021. So I could kind of a little bit fact check it, if you know what I mean. It's pretty much hitting the bases on trends. Now, of course, that's always the nail in any coffin of entertainment. That's always what it's going to be, trends. So this article kind of based itself upon something like, well, I'll just use for a personal example, the LGBTQ community. They are fighting for rights. They're fighting for equality. They're fighting for all of these different things. So it only makes sense to make movies that represent them. I'm not saying they're afraid or they have a problem with straight people or whatever movies they have. They love those movies just as well. But they want to see people from their own community in positions of power, or at least to be able to share their experiences. And it's completely understandable. So the entertainment business, what do? They make films, TV shows, everything to support that community and show what it's just like living in a community, and also just sitcoms, just shows in general. That's a trend, and let's get real, because now that's a trend in terms of now it's happening more. It's happening consistently. People of that community are fighting for their rights, and so sometimes. It's like that's the hottest topics in America right now, specifically. So what the entertainment does, because it's a heartless business. It's a beautiful business, but at the same time, it's a heartless business. It doesn't care about what's going on. It just wants to make money off of it. For example, slavery. Slavery was is America's, I guess I could say but it is like one of the biggest stenches on the America's sheets. Pretty much, they constantly make slave movies to reassure, because it's not to reassure people about what happened, because everybody knows it's in the books. It's not to just express how wrong the evil people were. It's to constantly make money off of it. Whatever topic is hot is going to be that. No matter if it's slavery, race cars, driving, whatever the situation is, it's going to constantly go towards those routes. And that's the thing about the entertainment business, that it's structurally, it will always be what it is. Yes, we want to make entertainment, but we only want to make entertainment if you're paying for it. If you don't pay for it, we don't care about the entertainment. It's also, you need something to watch. So we're going back to 2020. It will state things about what's going to happen, particularly more women in movies, more women empowering movies, in terms of more women superheroes. And in 2020, after 2020 happened, the article was before 2020, but it was saying what was going to happen in 2020. So what have we seen? We've seen Wonder Woman. We've seen, I forget the Harley Quinn movie. I don't know if it came out in 2020, but it was going toward, at least based on the article, it was going toward 2020 if it wasn't in 2020. I believe it was in 2020. But we're seeing more women in positions of power. We're seeing, and the movies are actually pretty good movies. Now there are better movies, but just my personal favorite was Wonder Woman, like, or like Birds of Like. It could have been done better, but they were still like good movies and going against the whole grain in terms of when people say, women can't do this, women can't do that. They've actually made some pretty good movies with a woman leading artist. So. We're going in that, and it's pretty much the whole article is just really basing itself around that, what was going on in 2020. You have also your Instagrams and your social medias were rising. We have new apps out there specifically for certain people. Like, I believe they have like the LGBTQ community app, where it's just like, you can constantly see, people like yourselves living their life perfectly fine. I think it's the same thing for different races or whatever it is. Pretty much just like big Facebook kind of group chats where people can just express their feelings and talk these things. The entertainment watches this. In fact, I saw a movie, well, I guess you could say a show, it was a series about, it was about a certain subject, right? And the subject was based on something going on in the world. and like a specific thing going on in the world, like because it literally happens. And so there was like some type of group or Facebook group or whatever, they always talked about it, so they implemented that in the show. It gave you more of a realistic feel. Guess why? Because it made you want to go not only talk about it, but share that in that particular group that you're in, regardless if it's a group chat, social media, whatever it is, you wanted to go share it because they're doing what you're doing. It made you want to go do it. It's like the same trick that people up top use for foods. I talked to somebody one day. I said, man, I love these types of chips, man. I just can't stop eating them. And they explained to me, I forget the word, I think it's called exorphins or something like that. That's the word. It's something like that. Like they put certain chemicals in the food that make you want to consistently eat them and keep you coming back. That's why I stay away from sun chips now, because I can't stop. And that's the same things the entertainment business is using for movies and TVs. Not movies and TVs, but just in the entertainment world as a whole. So once you look at that, it's like a very strategic business. I promise, like it's literally all about business, nothing more, nothing less. Whatever entertainment does is literally, it's focused on whatever happens right now. Gay people are fighting for rights. Let's make gay movies. Obese people are fighting for rights. Let's make a movie about it's okay to be big and loved. That's what people want to see. Give it to them. Wars are about to happen. Al-Qaeda, whatever. Iraq. Let's make a movie based on that. Or better yet, let's tell a true story. Which typically, true stories are cool, but you rather see a little bit of a movie that says based on a true story. When it's based on a true story, that means they put a little bit of their own little fantasy in there. And that fantasy is never just a personal decision. It's more of a fantasy that how people should think, or how people think things should have happened. So this article pretty much explained, because it's not the longest series of articles that I've read, but they pretty much explain on what it means to actually to what it actually means to literally look out for something. I call it like a lookout kind of article. Be on the lookout for this, because it's about to happen. Like I love prediction articles, especially when they become right, because they explain why there's a prediction. They explain why the prediction is a prediction and why it's most likely going to happen. So, also when it came down to it, these articles this article pretty much just explained itself in telling what it really means to actually focus on the task at hand, and that's the big picture. What's going on? How can we make money off of it? Literally that simple. Literally. I won't be surprised right now if there comes out with a police brutality movie that mainly focuses on actual recorded footage, and that actually happened, instead of making up necessarily or just copying the scenarios. So that's pretty much all I wanted to express is about that articles or whatever that I did this little research on for this particular submission, is literally based on what's going on and how can we make money off of it. Be on the lookout, and remember, the entertainment business only cares if they can make money off of it. Literally, that's all it is. That's all it will ever be. Entertainment business is nothing but money. If we can't make money off of you, we don't want you. And that's how it is, sadly. And it sounds kind of crazy that I want to be in this type of business, but I want to be in it for like a little bit of a different reason. I want to be able to provide entertainment, but of course I want to be able to pay my bills. I want to be known as one of the greats. So we got that going on, and thanks for watching. And do you notice these trends as well? What trends can you actually see coming? Let me know.